not. But the Blazers have been up and down since then. They've had some wins. They've had some losses. They've had some tough games. They've had some great games. And the last time that they played Oklahoma City, it was one of those tough games. One of those tough games. The Oklahoma City Thunder absolutely locked them down. They did exactly what they needed to do, exactly what you thought they would do, quite honestly. It's why they are the defending champions. And the Blazers really had no chance whatsoever in that game, because unfortunately Oklahoma City just flexed on them. It was tough. It was absolutely tough for them. And we're doing multiple things here. Turn them both on. Let's see. Ay. Music's playing in my ear. Sorry. Apologize. A little on-air producing going on. We're here, though. We're going to have some fun. Sorry for that. But, no, it was a rough game for him. It was absolutely a rough game for him as the Trailblazers came in. And, hold on. It's do. I'm going to sing some music, have some fun here. We'll be right back. Hold on. There we go. I hear an echo in my ear, though. That's no fun. Ay. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. Are we there? We're there. Hey! I think we're there now. Figured it out. Radio's back. I apologize for all that. You guys listen on YouTube. You got yourself some behind the scenes. I was just trying to figure out what was going on. I had an echo in my ear. Music was playing, trying to figure it out. But no, we are here live at Moda Center, as we always are on home games, for a fun game tonight here on this early Sunday. Blazers versus Oklahoma City Thunder in a game that, quite honestly, could be really good or it could be really bad. One or the other. The reason I say that is because the games have been good and they have been bad against Oklahoma City. First off, Oklahoma City came into town on November 5th. We all remember because it was my birthday and Bill Walton's birthday, which is far more important than mine. And the Blazers got down early. They were down 41-21 in that game, but they stormed back late thanks to a flurry of threes from Dwapri. They picked up the 121-119 victory over the Oklahoma City Thunder, the one time that Oklahoma City Thunder has lost. So you're feeling good. Things are wonderful until you go to Oklahoma City just about a week ago, exactly on November 23rd, and they run you out of the gym 122-95. They got their revenge, they did. And now the Blazers look to see if they can get back on top of the season series, take a 2-1 series lead, but it's going to be really tough against an Oklahoma City Thunder team that has just kind of ran through every single team they have played this season outside of that one blemish that happened in Moda in early November. They came into that game against the Trailblazers, winners of 8 straight. Then they took that loss. And now they've won, 9, 10, 11? It's unreal what they've done. 11 in a row, looking for 12 tonight. And the wins have come against some good teams. They got wins over the Warriors. They got wins over the Lakers. They got a win over the Timberwolves. They beat the Suns in their last game, 123-119. So a pretty tough run for opponents when it comes to playing Oklahoma City. The Suns tried their best. And you got to remember, the Suns are a team that's far outperforming what people thought they would be doing this season when it comes to actually winning games. Most people thought they'd have a down year. And no, that has not been the case. They've been playing it well. They've been doing wonderfully. And then Oklahoma City knocked them off. So now Oklahoma City, behind one of the greatest players in the NBA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, look to get it done again tonight against your Portland Trailblazers. A Portland Trailblazer team, mind you, that comes into this game limping to say the least. They're going to be hurting just a little bit. We know all the injuries that they've dealt with. As of yesterday, the injury report had Scoot Henderson, Drew Holiday, Damian Lillard, Matisse Thybulle, and Blake Wesley listed as out, while Donovan Clingan was listed as questionable with an illness. Unfortunately, the latest update about 20 minutes ago was that Donovan Clingan is out tonight against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So you're going to get Robert Williams up in there, maybe a dose of Dwaparith and Young Hansen, depending how things are going. The only bad part is Young Hansen doesn't move incredibly well for a 7-foot center on the defensive side of things. Dwaparith, he's not a great defensive center, and he doesn't have that. He moves all right, but he just doesn't have that defense outside the arc and the ability to move a ton where you need him to go. And that's not anything against him. I mean, that's most centers in the NBA. But Oklahoma City forces those types of centers to be put in compromising positions, as you saw in that last game against Oklahoma City. Donovan Clingan didn't play too well. So you got to figure that part out tonight, because you're going to be dealing with an Oklahoma City team that's absolutely ready to get you. Can the Blazers bounce back? Can the Blazers find any semblance of what we've seen from them early in the year? That's a question that they're going to have to deal with too, because we have seen this team be very, very good. We've seen them beat teams that you're like, really? They got that win? You go back to the way the season started. They get a win against the Warriors. They get a win against the Nuggets. They have the one win of any NBA team against the Thunder. They beat the Warriors again. But then they have losses against the Magic. They have losses against the Timberwolves. They have losses against the Clippers. Like, they have all these L's. They have losses against the Spurs without Victor Wembanyama, right? They have losses to the Mavericks. So this team is so up and down. We want to see that team that has gone and beat some of the best teams in the NBA, or at least stood toe-to-toe with them. What you don't want to see tonight, if you're a Trailblazer fan, is another one of those 122 to 90 blowouts where you just absolutely struggle. In that game, it was the first time all year the Blazers had failed to score 100 points. I feel like that's a hard thing to do in today's NBA when no team is averaging less than 100. We are in weird times when it comes to NBA basketball. So what version of the Blazers are you going to get? It's going to be the biggest question, and it's going to be a tough go no matter what, because even if you're at your best, Oklahoma City is absolutely filthy. They are absolutely filthy. If you want to join the conversation with us, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. You can also you can also grab your phone and text 88528. Send your text messages there, and go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, where you can join the conversation there, where it is an NFL Sunday. So friend of the show, Jason, he says, bang, bang, Niner gang. Hey, that's right, San Francisco taking care of business. Maybe, just maybe, even with all the publicity he gets, maybe Shadur Sanders just ain't it. Can we just admit that maybe Shadur Sanders ain't it? 16 of 25, 149 yards and a touchdown, outdone by the 16 of 29, 168 yards and a touchdown by Brock Purdy. It wasn't a passing man's ball game in Cleveland. Must have been that wind coming off the lake, but it doesn't matter because the wind comes off the lake. And then San Francisco leaves with a win. They leave with a win. I like that. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to head to the Coach's Corner, hear what Tiago Splitter has to say ahead of this game against the Thunder, and continue to get you ready. Blazers Thunder here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. coach Tiago Splitter to head to the podium, and as soon as he gets there, we'll pot it up and listen to him. And he's there right now, so let's head down.
Second game over there, you're playing at their place, they playing everyone, and we didn't have our guys. So tonight again, another one that we're missing some guys. They missing Caruso and Hardenstein. So all of those little things, it's not little, but change the scheme, how you approach, what you do defensively, offensively. Again, this is a great team. On point differential and one of the best in the history of basketball so far. So it's going to be, we'll fight, we'll give our best and compete at the highest level we can.
From afar, how have you seen Oklahoma City, their team, grow from last year to this year?
I think you could see it grow in the last years, like slowly playing the right way, doing the right things. Those young stars getting better every year. It's amazing what they did. It's a great job by Sam Presti and the whole front office, what they did, and Coach Mark. They doing a good job. And last year they won. Now they continue to get better and playing with discipline. That young, you don't see that often. So kudos to them, to the job they're doing.
Would you describe the way Shea's playing and just how it's so difficult to defend him? What makes it so difficult?
Well, he can score in all levels, right? Like getting to the rim, mid-range, shooting threes now at excellent, drawing fouls, playing fast. I mean, you don't see anything that he cannot do. And then he passed the ball as well. He got a system behind him, great shooters around him, guys that can finish at the rim, guys that protect the rim behind him. So, it's really a tough match. So for everybody, not just for us, but for every team in the league.
You guys haven't faced Jalen Williams yet, but now he's back for them. So what are some of the challenges he presents on both ends of the floor?
Again, another guy that can score, that can easily score 30, 40 on you. So, just another talent they have, and we got to be ready for those challenges. Of course, it's going to be I believe his second game. So hopefully he's still out of rhythm or not at his highest rhythm.
What's the next step you'd like to see Denny take, Tiago?
So Denny is doing something that he was not supposed to do, right? Like bring the ball, create for others, play in transition and half court. And now teams are throwing double teams to him and blitzing him and always the best defender on him. So, I mean, it's hard to ask for more, but maybe decrease the turnovers. Maybe, find his teammates even more. But I think he's doing a tremendous job so far, and I'm happy with him offensively. Defensively, I think he can get better. But it's also hard to do everything offensively and be like a stopper on defense, do the whole thing. There's few guys that can do that. But, yeah, you always ask for more, and you watch him defensively, and you ask him for, better box outs and better one-on-one and just being in the gaps better and closing out. So all of those little things, every player can get better.
Eventually Drew will come back and Blake will come back and Scoop eventually. What will this stretch of him being the primary ball guy, how will that help Denny, moving forward when all those guys come back?
Tremendously. I mean, we know that we have a safety there where you can put the ball on him and create something out of it. But, for now, this is what we have, and I'm not going to if think. But, yeah, that's a good question, though.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
And there you hear from head coach Tiago Splitter, and he knows they're shorthanded. The Thunder come into this one a little bit shorthanded as well, so we'll see how that impacts everything in the long run. I mean, Hartenstein's been a heck of a player for them, and then of course Caruso's been pretty good everywhere he goes. Good defensively as well. Also, yeah, it's tough when you don't have Drew Holiday, you don't have your plethora of guards, you don't have any point guards really, and until Shea came back healthy, you had no real shooting guards. Like things like that get rough. So we rely on Denny a lot, and he's been playing absolutely incredible basketball. If you want to join the conversation with us today, quick way to do that is just grab your phone and text 88528 to the new Rip City Radio text line. We'll get your messages there and talk about them on radio, where some of these crazies who just want to try to get in on the chat, like my buddy Timmy over here, who sends texts and comments in the YouTube channel, most of them about college football. That's right. How about them Ducks, baby? How about them Ducks going into the dog pound, getting the win over UW? Dubs down all day long. Felt so good. It felt so good. And now the Huskies just hey, they still like Jed Fish. That's still a good team. That's a very, very tough place to play. Quite honestly, a Duck fan doesn't like to admit it because rivalries are there for a reason. But Husky Stadium is a brilliant place to watch a college football game. That's for sure. But the Ducks went in there, got the job done. Also, the classic combo, throwback to Achilles Smith with Achilles Smith Jr. in the hype video. That's like chef's kiss, right? Mwah. Yellow lid, white top, old color green pant. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Also, Timmy chimes in. He says Wyoming owns Hawaii. That's not a fact at all. The real life Paniolo resides in Hawaii after last night's beatdown that my Rainbow Warriors put on them Cowboys. That's right. And people pick on me because people pick on people who have two favorite college football teams, right? But you can't be like the guy who's like, oh yeah, I have like two favorite teams. They're like the Yankees and the Dodgers, right? Okay, so you like the two best teams in the world. I have two favorite college football teams. One that I grew up my entire life loving and went to that college, the University of Oregon, and two, the University of Hawaii, because it's where my grandparents grew up, is in Hawaii, and I love Hawaii, and no one's going to pick on you for professing your love to a notoriously bad football program, right? So go Bows. Timmy Chang has them going in the right direction. But again, if you want to join the conversation, 503-248-0620 is the telephone number. 88528 is the text line, and of course, youtube.com. Type in Rip City Radio. But the thing is, tonight against the Oklahoma City Thunder, this Thunder team is so crazy. Like, they are one entity, one organism. They breathe and they eat like it's like one. And what I mean by that is, like, if you talk about Caruso and Hartenstein not being a go, or if you play a game without Shea Gilgeous-Alexander or Chet Holmgren, they don't skip a beat. Everyone fills in. The next man up comes in, and they fill their roles so incredibly well. This is a very, very good team. Such a fun team to watch, and they're good. I find them to be like a little bit different than like the Warrior Dynasty, because the Warrior Dynasty had really good balance too, but they were just so top heavy with those three Hall of Famers, right? With Clay and Dre and obviously Steph Curry. Now Thunder have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, but like they're not top heavy like the Warriors. The balance all the way down that roster is just something to behold. The fact that anyone can come in there, fill a gap, and just they don't skip a beat. They're well coached. They game plan well. And then of course with the way they've ran that thing, they got draft picks on draft picks. I mean, whose pick is it? They own one of the picks this year. I think it might be the Clippers pick. Like, they own the pick, and the Clippers are terrible. And like, you imagine, hey, look, OKC goes and gets a top 5 pick. Like, they're filthy and they're not going anywhere. So when you come in, you can get a win like Portland has. They're like Brock Lesnar taking down the Undertaker, right? The 1 and 21-1. Well, that's the Blazers right now. They're the 1 in the loss column for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Going to do their best tonight to make it 2. We're going to take a quick little break here on Blazers Game Day. When we come back, we're going to continue to get you ready for this game. Going to look back, though, at that Spurs game a little bit, see how things went down there. I thought the Blazers played well, but fizzled late, and maybe they can kind of build upon that to have a good game tonight. We'll also look at that Suns-Thunder game to kind of see how they played that game, give you an idea. And we still got keys to the game coming up later. All here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620. Welcome back into Blazers Game Day. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Getting you ready for Blazers versus Thunder. These two 1-1 on the season. The Blazers looking to grab that advantage, go up 2-1 on Oklahoma City, and be not only the only team to have one win against the Thunder, but the only team to have two against the Thunder. That's going to be easier said than done as the Thunder come in at a pretty impressive, to say the least, 19-1 on the year. I will say it as long as we can that the only one in that loss column is at the hands of your Portland Trailblazers, so that's pretty nice. But the next closest team to them is the Los Angeles Lakers and the Houston Rockets, both with 4 losses. And then in the East, the Detroit Pistons lead the way. They are 16-4, followed by Toronto at 14-6. Detroit did drop one last week to the Boston Celtics. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Toronto's 9-1 in their last 10. The only team playing hotter than the Toronto Raptors right now are the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are 10-0 in their last 10. So you got to play really good basketball if you're the Portland Trailblazers. Unfortunately, Trailblazers are on the opposite side of that. They're just 3-7 in their last 10 after starting off pretty good here at the beginning of the year. But you look at the way the standings are right now, and most people predicted that the Blazers would be fighting for a play-in spot. Maybe a playoff team, but fighting for a play-in spot. And that's where they are right now. They're ninth in the West. They're going to take their lumps, but they're going to find games that they could win. The injury bug has just absolutely tore them apart. But they're sitting there. They got a 3-game lead against over Dallas. That's a 3.5-game lead over the Sacramento and Los Angeles, and a 5.5-game lead over New Orleans. Those are 4 of the teams on the outside looking in. Right there at 11 right now is Utah, who's 12 games back. So it's a 1.5-game lead over Utah, and we'll continue to see how the season plays out. The point is, I wouldn't get too upset when they take these losses or they have the games where they look bad, because they really are playing kind of exactly how we thought they would. We just want to see just more consistency out of them. Like, if you take the losses, that's one thing. But when you're taking them, like you said, 122 to 95, like it was last time they played, that's what you don't want to see. You want to just see a little bit more of that consistency. You want to see the same level of effort. But to give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, that is hard to do when you don't have a point guard back there and you've missed one of your best scoring options, Shaedon Sharpe, for large periods of time. Or tonight when you don't have your starting center, those things are definitely going to impact you. Every team's been dealing with injuries, but the Blazers definitely dealing with them on a absolute different level, at least it feels like. Now, I do want to go back, though, to that game on November 26th. That was on Thursday against the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs came into town. It was cup play. Blazers needed to win. They get the win. They advance to the elimination rounds of the NBA Cup tournament. And the Blazers looked good. Like, they looked like they could keep it going. Like, they could win this game. They were sticking with the Spurs, despite the fact the Spurs did not have Victor Wembanyama. And you thought, okay, we're going to take advantage. The Spurs are also a team very, very good. Lots of balance on that roster. And They did. They played very, very good until that fourth quarter where, quite frankly, I know the term feels overused, but they 100% just ran out of gas. Denny Avdia was doing so much for the team. The team was on his back. He missed, 5 clutch free throws down the stretch where you could just tell that guy's legs weren't under him. He was tired. He was beat. And the Spurs go and grab the 115-102 victory. And why were his legs so tired? Well, he had 37 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. He's the only person who scored more than 13 points for your Blazers. He had 37, a darn near 40-point triple-double. He was 12 of 19 from the floor. People want to point out to those missed free throws down the stretch. He ended up being 8 of 14 from the line, but the dude was gassed. The second leading scorer on the team that night, Jeremy Grant, with 13 points. Third leading scorer, Shaedon Sharpe, who was playing on a bit of a minutes restriction coming off the bench after missing a few games with an injury. He had just 11. So when no one else is showing up, and Denny's putting the team on his back, yeah, fatigue's going to set in, and it absolutely did. They needed more people to show up in that game, and it just didn't happen. The Spurs grabbed the 115-102 victory. Tough night, to say the least. So hopefully you can bounce back tonight and know that Denny's going to bring it. Denny's been bringing it every single night. You need Jeremy to hit his shots. You need Shaedon Sharpe to get going, and, again, we'll see where he's at I don't know if there's going to be a minutes restriction on him at all, and he was dealing with that tight calf, which seems to be like everybody's dealing with this year. But if you get him going, and you can get him going in the mid-range where he excels, you can get him attacking the basket and then start opening up that three, and you get the offense rolling, then you're going to be in a good spot. As for Oklahoma City, they won their 10th game in a row a few nights ago against the Phoenix Suns. It was a 123 to 119 victory. The Suns tried to put it on them late. They outscored the Thunder 37 to 29 in the fourth quarter, but they just couldn't make that full-on comeback for the Suns. Dylan Brooks had 19 points, 21 points from Devin Booker. Colin Gillespie had 24 as well. On the Thunder side of things, again, these are the things you're going to have to watch for tonight, the balance with this team. 37 points from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 23 points from Chet Holmgren, 14 points from both Kassan Wallace and Jalen Williams. And keep in mind, the other Jalen Williams, because not to confuse you for the fact that, they have two Jalen Williams, which is not confusing at all. But he had missed time. He's an absolute stud of a player. He came in and he had 11 points in that game. Lou Dort had 7. Isaiah Joe had 10. They're going to find multiple ways to attack you, multiple ways to hit you, and it's going to make you work all night long. All night long. All night. Anybody? Bueller. Got to drop jokes now and then. And the crazy part is Oklahoma City, they lost the rebound battle in that game 51 to 37, which usually if you're winning that rebound battle, you're going to be in a good spot. Maybe that's what allowed the Suns to claw back in the game. The Suns shot 46%. Oklahoma City shot 48. So there was a lot of balance there. That's why it was only a 4-point game at the end of the day. But they still find ways to strike, and they still find ways to get you. So if you're the Blazers, you got to make sure everything's absolutely locked in. You look at the game that Portland played against Oklahoma City Thunder last week in Oklahoma City. That was a game where the Thunder were just unstoppable. They shot 52% from the field, 41% from beyond the arc. Meanwhile, Portland was just 37% from the floor and 25% from beyond the arc. You look at it and you're like, okay, well, Oklahoma City only made 3 more three-pointers than Portland. It was a 15 to 12 advantage for Oklahoma City. Yeah, but they took 11 fewer three-point shots. It's just you're taking them, you're making them, you're being smart with the shots that you take. Tough night if you're the Trailblazers. The Thunder won the rebound battle. The assist margin was huge in this one, 33 to 18 in favor of Oklahoma City. And so yeah, you gotta put pressure on them. That's the only way to really knock this team off. You could have an offensive night, but defensively you got to get locked in and you got to knock them off their game, because if they get in a rhythm, they don't get knocked out of that rhythm very easily. Now, they got in a rhythm in that first quarter on November 5th. I thought not only did the defense lock in, but the offense started to get going as well. And that helps. That helps. This Blazer team, we've seen they can live and die by how good their offense is going to be. And that victory, 121 to 119 on November 5th, we're talking about the balance that this team needs. Denny Avdia had 26 points. Drew Holiday had 22 points. Shaden Sharp had 18. Jeremy Grant had 20. 16 points from Tumani Kamara. Dwap Reith had 12, where it was 4 of the best three-pointers you'd ever seen. They came in clutch time. You needed them all, right? So it was just a night where you needed everything to click, and it did. So you've seen the blueprint for how to beat them. You've seen the blueprint for how not to play, because they're going to take it to you, right? And so now you just got to find the way to replicate what you know leads to success and how you beat them the first time. And I say that knowing full well it's absolutely easier said than done. Far easier said than done. As the Korean Bulldog in the YouTube chat says, Blazers lose by 20. And you know what? You never know. Very well could be the case. Going to be a rough night. If you want to join in on the conversation, 88528 is the text line. And, of course, you go to youtube.com, type in Rip City Radio, and join the conversation there where, everyone says the Blazers chew the clock. Beat them. Yeah, chew the clock. You guys are bums. They pick on me because I don't like when they chew clock in the video game. Like, hey, it works in real life. Yeah, that's because real life's not a video game. Okay? I came to play, not watch clock chew. Now, if I'm a coach, I'm going to chew clock when I need to chew clock in a real football game. That matters. You know what else matters? Is Hawaii beating Wyoming for the Paniolo Trophy. That matters. Drink it in. It's beautiful. Yeah, and how about Duke making the ACC championship game? And let's rant real quick. We're definitely going to go in on this tomorrow on Rip City Drive too. But oh, we should change the rules and let Miami in because Miami's the best team in the ACC. Okay, on paper, yeah, but results-wise, they didn't get it done. So guess what? You don't get a free trip. You don't get a free trip in just because your name's Miami and the pundits think you're the best team. You had a chance to win ball games. You didn't win ball games. Take advantage and you're in. It's pretty simple. It's college football. Win your games. If we're going to get to this point where we're going to be like, oh, gosh, well, this team's clearly better than both Virginia and Duke. They should be in the ACC championship game. Then get rid of the conference championship games and just get rid of the season. Why even have the season? Guess what? It just every December, it's the college football playoff, and we can just pick the teams that we believe should be in there because their name sounds cool and they have history behind them, and they're the best team on paper. Like that, no, that's not how it works. We've seen. Okay, what about the upsets that we've seen in the NBA, right? The rare, like the We Believe Warriors, right? The 8s upsetting the 1s. Oh, well, even though they were upset in the playoffs, they were the 1 seed, they lost to the 8. They should probably advance to the next round anyway because I mean, they shouldn't have lost. Like they're the better team. They should. I mean, nope. The results played out. They lost. Take care of business. Move on. You don't want 7-5 Duke in the championship game, Miami. Don't lose ball games. Don't lose ball games. Oh, it'd be an absolute travesty if Texas isn't in the college football playoff. Don't lose to Florida. Take care of business. You know why Oregon fan isn't bumbling about, oh, we deserve to be in the playoff? Because they're locked in. They have 1 loss on their schedule. It was to the number 2 team in the country. They took care of business most of the time. They didn't lose a game that they shouldn't have. Oh, they should get jumped because they got dominated at home. It was a 10-point game. What are you talking about? College football is beautiful. College football is also annoying. Absolutely annoying. Miami deserves to be in. They're better. Should have won games. Pretty simple. All right, we're going to take a quick little break here on Blazers Game Day. When we come back, we're going to hit our keys to the game. What do the Blazers need to do to win this game against the Oklahoma City Thunder? We're going to continue to get you ready and, get the baton ready to pass to Chad Doing, who's waiting over there in Section 113 for the Trailblazers pregame show across the Trailblazers Audio Network. Chris Burkhardt here with you. Game Day rolls on after the break here on your home of the Blazers, Rip City Radio 620.
Sumner College is proud to partner with K1.
getting you ready for Blazers versus Thunder here at Moda Center. A nice little Sunday afternoon game. A 1 o'clock game day probably throws you off, but no more than a 3 o'clock tip as the Thunder are here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. And hopefully they leave a little sad and the Blazers can take care of business and grab another victory. You know it's going to be easier said than done. And that's not just a Blazer problem, that's an NBA problem as the Thunder come into this game at 19-1. But I've said it multiple times, and I got to say it again. Just like Brock Lesnar is the 1-21-1 when The Undertaker took his first loss at WrestleMania, the Blazers are the 1-19-1. So you know what? They know that they can get it done. We'll see what happens tonight. How will they get it done? Let's look at the numbers. It's time for our keys to the game.
What will it take for a Trailblazers victory tonight? Here is Chris Burkhardt with his keys to the game. Broadcasting live from the Coors Light Studios. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Well, key number one for me, my friends, is that you got to score more points than the Oklahoma City Thunder if you hope to have a chance of winning this ball game tonight. And I know you're sitting there going, Chris, you're an idiot. You don't win if you score fewer points. You have to score more points. That's how it happens. Well, what I mean by that is you have to have your offense absolutely locked in. The Oklahoma City Thunder come into this game averaging 122.2 points per game. That is the third most points per game average in the NBA, trailing only Miami, who the Blazers took a loss to, and Denver, who Portland does have a victory over. It is an absolute efficient offense. They average 93 shots per game. They average making, not only that, they average a lot. They make, not 93, 89, but they make 43 per game. So take them, make them, and they shoot 48% while doing it, which is top 10 in the NBA. Meanwhile, the Blazers on the other side of things, they had an offense that was up there for a little bit. It has started to falter. They're averaging just 118, and they're shooting just 44% from the floor. That's not going to get it done. The other thing that's going to struggle for the Blazers is the three-point line. As I mentioned earlier, that loss on last week to Oklahoma City made only 3 more three-pointers than the Trailblazers, but they took 11 fewer. They were very efficient with the three-pointers they made. The Blazers, on the other hand, have struggled all year long as a team, shooting 32.3% from beyond the arc. That is the third worst shooting percentage from three in the NBA. The only two teams worse than the Blazers are Dallas and Indiana. So the Blazers got to figure that one out, because the crazy part is they are the third worst in percent, but they are fourth in the league in attempts at 42 per game. So they take a lot, they don't make a lot. That is unfortunate. So that you got to have that shot locked in. You got to have the offense dialed in. That's what I mean when you got to score more points. Because you could talk about the defense being locked in, but if you can't find the bottom of the net, it's going to be all for naught. Like, you got to make sure the offense is locked in. And we've seen 2 games against this Oklahoma City Thunder so far. One of those games, it took a quarter because it was not locked in the first quarter. But for the next 3, the offense was ready to go. They got the upset victory. And in the game in Oklahoma City, the offense was non-existent, and they got ran out of the gym. The offense has to be locked in. We have talked so much about the defense and all that. The defense is not looking as advertised, but look at the injury report, fellas. No Drew Holiday, no Matisse Thybulle. Those are 2 All-NBA defenders right there. No Blake Wesley, who's been phenomenal on that end for the Blazers this year. Defense was going to take a hit. Now you get rid of Donovan Clingan, who's not playing tonight due to an illness, and guess what? You lose your shot blocker too. So defense will hurt. So if you can't rely on that to go get your stops, guess what? Offense has to be locked in. So you cannot have a 13-point game from Jeremy Grant and an 8-point game from Tumani Kamara and everyone else sitting there looking at Denny Avdia going, here, Denny, go score for us. You got to have everybody involved, everybody locked in. Offense is going to either make or break you in this game. Now, defensively, you got to make sure that you can do your best. I'm going to say do your best to force turnovers, because the Blazers come into this game second to last in the NBA. That means second worst when it comes to turnovers per game at 16.8. On the other side, Oklahoma City comes into this game second best in the NBA at just 12.8 turnovers per game. That margin is going to lead to fast break points. It's going to lead to easy points in the paint, too, if you're on those fast breaks, little things like that. And if you're turning the ball over at a high clip against a team that doesn't, you're going to be extra nasty in a bad way, right? So you need to make sure that you are locked in defensively to try to force some of those turnovers that they don't normally do. And on the other side of that, ball control is going to be absolutely huge against a team that's going to force you to turn the ball over a lot. Oklahoma City comes into this game averaging 10.6 steals per game, which is tied with the Suns for number 1 in the NBA. So they're going to force their strength right to your weakness, ball control. Their strength, taking the ball over. So you got to control the ball and then do your best to try to force them into mistakes that they don't make. They do not make a lot of them, so you got to be on the ball, no pun intended, with what you do there. All right, the Blazers not the only game going down around the NBA tonight. Let's take a look at what else we can expect. There is only one game currently being played. There's 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third quarter in Utah, and the Rockets have a massive 93-64 lead over the Jazz. Kevin Durant with 23 points and 3 steals for the Rockets. Yusuf Nurkic, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists for Utah. That's the only game going on right now, but plenty of games going on around the association tonight. And we have the Celtics at the Cavaliers, the Raptors taking on the Knicks, the Hawks at the 76ers, the Spurs taking on the Timberwolves, Memphis in Sacramento, New Orleans taking on the Lakers in Los Angeles, and of course the Oklahoma City Thunder here to take on your Portland Trailblazers. And again, we talked about our keys to the game and what you need to do. I really hope you get another solid, phenomenal game out of Denny Avdia. He has been so fun to watch over this recent stretch of games. But again, you need more than just him to show up. You need more than him to show up. You got to have everybody in there. So yeah, that's that. That's where you're at. You need everyone to show up. You can't. This is not going to be a one-man show. One-man show is not going to get it done unless he goes out there and does something crazy. Maybe it's like a Kobe Bryant game. He's going to get you. Maybe he gets you what? 20, 21 rebounds, 15 assists, 81 points, Kobe Bryant style, right? Throw a couple in there. Best triple-double the world's ever seen. That's not going to happen, though. That's a pipe dream. We ain't playing NBA 2K tonight, right? We're playing real-life basketball, so you need everybody to show up. It's also NFL Sunday, my friends, and I know most of you, like me, are NFL junkies. So we got a second. Let's take a look. Seahawks with the early 3-0 lead, 7 minutes left in the second quarter. Steelers, Bills tied at zeros, 2.5 left in the first. Chargers 7-zip over the Raiders. First quarter about to wrap up. You also have Broncos Commanders going on at 5:20 today, so you know Chad will be locked in. My San Francisco 49ers picked up a 26-8 victory over the Browns. Jaguars 25-3 over the Titans. Texans 20-16 over the Colts. The Dolphins take down the lowly Saints 21-17. The poor New Orleans Saints, my goodness. They need Drew Brees back. Get him out of retirement. The Jets 27, Falcons 24, Bucks 20-17 over the Cards. The Panthers grab a 31-28 victory over the Rams. All right, I think we're about to wrap up here, my friends. Get out of here, have some fun. But man, it's going to be a good game. Hopefully, biggest thing is you just need to be locked in the entire time. If you're locked in, I think you can keep the game close. That's the goal, and I think that is what you can do. Lock it in, keep it close. The only thing you want to avoid, really, is that massive, massive blowout. And we saw that happen in Oklahoma City. Can you avoid that? Can you play a brand of basketball that keeps it close and gives you a chance? Because if you keep it close and you play good basketball, then you have, like they say, a puncher's chance, right? You're in the ring. Maybe the guy gets a little too cocky, Anderson Silva style. You know, Anderson Silva did the whole like, oh, you can't hit me. Watch out, I'm going to dodge a punch, and all of a sudden got clocked on the chin that it was apparently made of glass and crumbled to the mat. Maybe Oklahoma City does that. Give yourself a chance, though. If you don't give yourself a chance, it doesn't matter, right? Gloves up, get ready to fight. It's going to be a tough ball game, and you know it. Bring your best. Bring your best. And again, Jeremy, 2, Robert Williams, Young if he gets in. You need more than Denny Avdia to get going tonight. All right, music means it's time to go. For me, not for you. Keep it locked in here because coming up next across the Trailblazers audio network, Chad Dewing will have the Trailblazers pregame show. And then, of course, he'll pass off the mic to the radio voice of the Trailblazers, Travis Demers on the call. Tip-off at 3 o'clock, Blazers versus Thunder. When it's all said and done, keep it locked in to Rip City Radio, 620 for the 5th quarter, where hopefully together we're breaking down a Trailblazers victory. It's Blazers versus Thunder tonight at Moda Center. Rip City, I'll talk to you after the game.